Hello, and hopefully you can hear me. I'm waiting for my Twitch to catch up from the ad there, but we're about to launch Rehoboam versus Pharaon. Um, so it should be an exciting matchup. We'll see how it goes. Um, and just want to double check settings before I kick off. So we've got the latest version of Rehoboam, we've got Pharaon there. They're definitely correct. We're on tiny map, game speed's fast, all seems well here. And anyone who's familiar with Rehoboam, you'll probably know that it normally plays Franks for its 1v1 and 2v2. However, upon entering it into, or updating it for the final 16, TheNightPanda added a new surprise in here, with Rehoboam being able to play Persians and make use of the new Savar unit. I did check through Pharaon's code as well, and Pharaon can play Savars too, so I don't see any issue with them mirroring each other, so that should all be working fine. I'm just refreshing the stream here to make sure that that's all working fine. There we go, and I can see Randy's in the chat. Perfect. Hi, so we'll kick this off now, and we'll go through Dark Age while people join. Rehoboam as Persians. Super excited to see this. We'll see what happens. So both of these in the previous Davis Cup 6, got to the semi-finals. Rehoboam came second in the overall tournament, and Pharaon came third. I believe getting knocked out by Immortal, but then being able to get revenge in the third place playoffs with Barbarian, beating Barbarian. Rehoboam's kind of on home territory here. It was initially made for Definitive Edition, and there was a bit of kind of transfer issues, I guess, getting it translated over from Definitive Edition to user patch, which was where DC6 was kept on. But yeah, we're now on home turf for Rehoboam. Pharaon has kind of the opposite. It was made initially for user patch and has been translated over to Definitive Edition. The user patch version of Pharaon did quite a nasty tower rush, which could be interesting against Rehoboam, because Rehoboam hates towers, really doesn't respond well to them. But as we know, TheNightPanda has also made the AI 105 in 3 hours, the tower rushing AI. So I would imagine since then he's built in some adequate defences for tower rushes in Rehoboam. So we'll see if the tower rush happens and how Rehoboam will respond to it. Just double checking there for people in the chat. Mainly looking at you, Randy. Is the sound a bit better today? I did turn down the game volume to about 60% in game, because it was about 100. So I'm hoping that it's not quite as loud as it was yesterday. And hopefully microphone and everything is all fine as well. Overall volume could be higher. Okay, I can do that. Just turned up by a little bit and see how that goes. And at the moment we've got balls being hunted. Again, both of these AI should be quite precise at this. We're really looking at the top end at the moment. We got a front lumber camp, but probably the best position he could have picked. And that's Pharaon. We're pushing deer. We got a mill, but we've not got everyone on berries. Doing really well. And we're nearly at clicking up to feudal for Pharaon. Similar story with Rehoboam. We are switching over to berries here. We're still pushing deer. We've got houses near the lumber camp. I don't know if that's deliberate. We've got 2 lumber camps here to spread out the lumberjacks. And after loom has been researched, we should get, there we go, feudal age being clicked up at 8 minutes. We got a force drop for feudal being chatted there. I think it was just a little bit short, and so clicked up another villager. Could have held off that villager maybe to age up a little quicker. We got flush here. We'll see what Pharaon's going for. What unit it decides to do. Doesn't look like a tower rush. We've got no one on stone. Let's turn the volume up again here for the audio output. Hopefully, Andy, you'll find that that is quite a bit better for gain volume. Okay, signature TheNightPanda move there, flaring the enemy base. We've got 2 archery ranges. I was wondering what the opening would be for Persians, because normally as Franks, Rehoboam would famously go for archers with that awesome micro. And switching over to Pharaon, we've got 2 archery ranges as well. Maybe going for skirmishers here. We've got no one on gold, so I'm guessing skirms. Ooh, what are you doing, Pharaon? You need to train something. He's a little slow. I wonder if he's escrowing resources. Two archery ranges producing 1 skirm. That could be problematic. We've got Rehoboam's archers gathering together. They will regroup and let's go and see if he's chatting anything. Clearly some sort of DEC is happening. It seems to be focused on regrouping. But it is being slow. It's quite surprising how... There's defense there. We've got Spearman there for the scout. It's a good composition there for Pharaon. Here we go. We're approaching the attack now. He's mixing in skirms. Okay. Defenders are sticking around for Pharaon at the moment. Maybe they're outside of TC side. Interesting, quite hesitant there from Rehoboam. But Pharaon seems to be on the attack. Perhaps this is going to end up being a race to Castle Age. We've got armour upgrades here. armor and fletching. No armor or fletching for Rehoboam. Pharaon could have this. Oh, that micro is so strong. Sticking around on the high ground as well, which is really nice. We got a tower from Pharaon. Might not be the most effective against skirms, but it'll be a nice thing, and I would imagine Rehoboam might react quite negatively to a tower. But that is Pharaon's army decimated. He's trying to avoid the tower. But how is Pharaon's eco doing? Oh, very nice, Pharaon. Very nice. Famously did that in Davis Cup as an offensive tower. He seems to be doing it as defense as well. Building a wall around the tower with palisades, but 42 overall pop, 1 military, versus 74 overall pop, with about 30 of that being military, just under. This is Rehoboam's to lose. Now I would love to see how Rehoboam would use elephants, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to go into Castle Age, going for knights. The towers are a nice play. A lot of AIs, my own included, will try and stay out of the tower range, even if you've got an army of skirms. So that might have bought Pharaon some time, but he's nowhere near Castle Age. Would have been interesting to see how a tower rush might have impacted Rehoboam here. Pharaon's gone for stone. He's got a load on stone. Is that because he can't reach gold? Not quite sure why it's done that. Unless he's trying to build more towers. Or maybe to sell stone to age up. Well, this does not look good for Rehoboam. For Pharaon even. It looks great for Rehoboam. Beautiful micro. I'm sure we'll see knights soon as well. We've got crossbow. Elite skirm. Here we go, knights. Rehoboam doesn't care about a tower. I feel bad for Pharaon on this though. I'm wondering if this looks kind of like automatic villager allocation. Villagers got taken off the wood, so it's redirected to food. Maybe it got taken off gold and it's redirected to stone. But it's not coming back from this. We might get to see some nice micro shots. There you go from Rehoboam. Nice triple kill. Yeah, and Pharaon is eventually going back to gold, so it looks like it's just auto allocation. think this also just shows the gap between second and third place from previous Davis Cup. Morton and Rehoboam are just the titans of the group. Amazing work. Got 24 villagers, 23. I know speeding it up will potentially break Rehoboam, so I'll just let it go down a little bit further first. So this is looking like Rehoboam's game. 3 TCs. Loads of vills queued up. It's taking a break from producing knights. I think it is just booming now and waiting for Imperial Age. So it can go for Savars. $20 vills. I'm going to speed it up slightly and see how that goes for Rehoboam. Like I say, this is Rehoboam's game to lose. I can hear relics being picked up. And there it is. The resign from Pharaon. Wow, you've eaten me. Yep. I think just that extra villager before aging up didn't help, and then Pharaon was just out microed. It had the units, but Rehoboam, with that perfect micro, just ate the army quite literally. Nice tower though. I'd be really interested to see if it decides to go forward towers, how that goes. And Pharaon with a different civ as well might help here. But let's have a look at the stats. Fairly dominant game there for Rehoboam. Minutes exactly for the feudal age. That would have been plenty of time for you to do damage, wouldn't it, Randy? As Sun Tzu. It's a minute and 20 seconds, I think, for Goth to get in there. And yeah, you can see the military kind of got somewhat equal, considering that this was a mixed range army versus all skirms. With Pharaon having all the upgrades as well. It had the upgrades before Rehoboam, it had the range, it had the extra armor. But I think, as Fireball puts it, Micro can cover a lot of sins, as it were. And Rehoboam there, it's cleared up. So, let's get the next game set up. 2v2. We have 2 Rehoboams. Should probably change this first as well. There we go. And it's Pharaon D that we want. So I'll get my dice roller up for this one. Pharaon, according to the spreadsheets, can play any original definitive edition AI. So any that came with the game without DLC. I've rolled a 22 there on my dice roller. 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 Incas. Rehoboam, I believe, is going to go for Persians for both. That's replacing the Franks that it had before. I will just double check that on the spreadsheet. Persians as 1v1 and 2v2. Yeah, so Rehoboam there, mirror for Pharaon as Persians. That's all looking good. Just head back over to chat here. You need to get back to scripting there, Andy. Oh, we're coming up to Christmas break. I think kick off in the new year. I know that we've got the AI ladder potentially kicking off again in the new year as well. The next stage of that, which would be good on Yucatan. So it'd be interesting to see how AIs respond to that. We're also here, so I'm just doing a final check of the settings. We're all good. Let's go. So both pharaohs getting an extra llama. That could help. As we know, team bonuses won't stack for Rehoboam, so Pharaon perhaps has a bit more of an advantage with that. That might just help it get to feudal just that little bit quicker, because it was just a tiny bit behind in that last game. It's an interesting little garrison there that happened for Pharaon. I wonder if that was just a way to try and get the villager across the town centre faster. If so, that's really clever. We've got a lure happening here. We're scouting with goats, very nice. Okay. Interesting with Esty's other AIs, it will use TC fire to get the health of the board down. Looks like Pharaon hasn't got that update in this version. But they're doing okay. Got a lure here from Rehoboam. It's a near miss there for that villager, but he's doing okay. Interesting movement there from the villager. Looked like it was trying to be DUC'd somewhere else. But again, these guys just seem to get the basics right. They find their surrounding resources. You don't see them missing boar. I'd expect to see this elephant go soon. Got two goats here. There goes second ball for red. Nice. We're pushing deer. For yellow. Pushing deer with an eagle, nice. Hopefully that'll catch that elephant. There we go, that elephant at the top there was found. It looks like the goats were found on the bottom as well. Nice one. You're still not convinced whether to enter the ladder, Randy. I know what you mean. I think I haven't entered Bright Spark yet, and I think with Yucatan I know there's a couple of issues I've got at the moment. They're pretty simple to fix, but Bright Spark will try and build a dock if it sees water on it, which is not what you want on a mostly all land map. So if I were to enter it, I'd need to adjust that first. But I think I'm going to go for it. I think the way I'm kind of seeing it is, rather than kind of as a measure of, you know, making a good first impression with your AI and that kind of thing, just a nice way of tracking progress. You know, you might lose to certain AIs in the ladder, but then in the next round Can you overtake it? And I think particularly seeing updates from AIs like Bambi and the new update from Jester as well. It'd be really interesting as a comparison to see how they perform in the ladder compared to last season. So yeah, I might enter it, give it a go. And I know Leaf will probably need more help with running games, because I know he's mostly done all of the games on the ladder, and there's a lot to run, so hope to help out with that too. Sun Tzu's still far from being finished, however Sun Tzu won the Duke of Arabia, right? it's not bad at all. You've been off to a flying start with it. I was really pleased to see actually how good some of the games were in Duke of Arabia. I actually think a lot of them were a lot closer than the Prince of Arabia stuff. Okay, so we've got 2 archery ranges here from Pharaon. We're going to expect the same for Rehoboam. It kind of has the same plan and executes it. We've got scouting here. We have a blacksmith. Is that all? We got towers. We got 4 towers. Okay. It's time. Let's switch over for the resources here. This was what I was excited to see. Rehoboam bringing the villagers forward. He's having none of it. But he is losing villagers to that tower. And the villager's going to keep going. He's building a counter tower. Rehoboam getting his excuses out in the open there. I'm not made to play against towers. This could be bad for Rehoboam. I think red is just going for flush though. Yeah, red is going for a similar thing as it did before. We've got towers on the other side. Now, normally we found, at least on user patch, it would build walls around the tower. Don't see that at the moment, and if it does pull that off, that'll be really bad for Rehoboam, but I think this tower here is going to go down quite easy. Some nice defense. And that tower might actually do some damage to Pharaon's villagers here. Let's have a look over Green's resources here. Despite the towers being there, Green seems relatively unfazed. There's a good defense. Yellow's losing villagers, or it's losing villager health I should say. But it is keeping the archers at bay. If they build around here in range of this tower, that could be huge. I think that's just out of range though. It's keeping the villagers busy. And they're repairing the tower. Yeah, and they're just out of range of this tower, so it's just focusing on the archery range. Pharaon could you do with a couple of units just to back it up. This is more like it. This is in range. That's going to do some damage to the villagers. And we've got some clashes going on here as well. There's too much to keep track of. I think red is slightly outnumbered, and as we've seen previously as well with the micro, I think red's going to be on the back foot, but it is holding its own. If you can keep those units alive. Blue going for the high ground. Okay, Rehoboam seems to be deliberately doing that. That's really nice. That's twice I've seen it do that now. We've got fletching coming out for yellow, which is really nice. Villagers making a wise decision here, which is just leaving that tower alone. Yeah, villagers are still going up fine. We've got green down here as well. Green is doing a little bit of aggro here for yellow. It's not loads, but it's just a little bit to disrupt. It's keeping them off stone. They're going for a further stone. Green's going for a market. Oh, and here we go. We got the wall. It's not quite close enough to do damage to the villagers, but it is going to encircle Rehoboam here. That's awesome. Six villagers building a farm there. I'm guessing building assistance is left on there for Rehoboam. Red is in trouble. We got some nice micro from Red. It is repelling. Okay. I was not expecting that. Blue seems to have lost units regrouping with some of the newly produced units. Green is going castle. Blue's approaching castle. Red's nowhere near. Yellow's nowhere near. Once the knights start coming out, we might see a difference here, but we've got more walls going around towers here. If yellow can get to Castle Age and get Bodkin, those towers are then going to start doing some major disruption. I wish Esty was watching this right now. What a beautiful sight. This is what Pharaon was doing in Davis Cup 6. We got a big clash over here still. Red holding its own. I think the scores here not really doing them justice. At least doing Pharaon's team justice, I should say. But Blue doing a good job of preserving units. Green has gone castle. Yellow's lacking gold. Ah, just these two archers here, they're just keeping them off. He is going for gold now. We've got some defensive towers here. If yellow can get to castle relatively soon, it's going to be good. We've got another tower coming up here. We've got knights being produced by green though. That may not help against a load of the towers. We've got another TC, and soon it'll be able to expand out of those towers' reach. Here we go. They're building the wall around. It might lose some villagers to that. Interesting that the knights is focusing on the tower. And that looks like it was DUC'd. It started attacking the eagle and focused down the tower. Oh, and now we're losing villagers. Okay. But in the clash between blue and red, blue is now Castle Age. That's not good. It's not a good mining camp for Rehoboam. Don't do it. The knights seem to be in kind of some weird DUC loop of attacking the tower and then cancelling its attack. I'm guessing because of other towers in the vicinity. I guess that's why we got the chat from Rehoboam saying that it doesn't work well with towers. Let's switch over to the other side. We got knights coming from blue. It's not going to work well with the skirms. We've still got the blue army in the base. Red has made it to castle. How's yellow doing? Yellow is on the way to castle as well. And I think this might switch to a 1v1. Great game. Red is going to get chopped down here. Yellow producing units now, which is good. We've still got these. These archers have done a great job of avoiding the towers. 2 archers causing so much disruption. But the eagles are going to give those a hard time. The knights don't know what to do with the towers. Green might produce some rams soon. I know Rehoboam does like to go for rams, and I think just one ram could turn the tide here, supported by knights. The blue is on the attack. Chopping down villagers. I think red is done. And despite green losing villagers, it is kind of holding its pop count. The knights, if anything, might be distracting from villager fire. Like they can tank those shots instead of the villagers. This TC is really nice. We got a TC up here. We got mills. We got farms away from the centre, which again is really nice. Yeah, great placements. Making those towers only partially effective. Great to see Pharaon punning up a fight here against Rehoboam. Knights coming in from blue to help green. This might not be a good trade. Inside of the tower, we've got pikes here. It's a good decision to avoid. They could do some eco damage. Yeah, very nice. Well defended. We've still got a massive units here that haven't been touched. Let's look at some numbers. Okay, 143 total for blue. Red is nearly done. 103 for green. Yeah, yellow just hasn't expanded enough. That building those towers has really cost it. If these knights had committed, if they just committed to a tower, they'd be down and it would be able to sort itself out. In the meantime, it's up to blue to save the day. Okay, we have a resign from Pharaon, which is understandable. Blue and green were booming there as well. They've made it to Castle Age. They've done a lot of damage. But those towers are really exciting. It would have been nice to have seen, there was a couple of attempts where the towers were just a little bit out of other tower range. If it kind of went down the same route that 105 normally does, of just keeping the towers in range and getting just a little bit closer to the TC and kind of farm hitting range, I think that could have been a bit more deadly for green. But there were some nice trades between blue and red. Red defending itself quite well initially, but blue just getting to Castle Age sooner. And green's archers coming around here and just doing a load of disruption, like just those 2 archers and avoiding that tower, like, was brilliant. And that's the great thing about AI, you know, it kind of has that span of attention that maybe average players like some of us here wouldn't necessarily have, but it can just constantly keep those archers out of danger, disrupting villagers, taking them off stone, taking them off gold, and just slowing that Castle Age up. Very nice from Rehoboam. Great game. Let's look at stats. Solid performance from blue. Red building up quite a bit of an army as well. 142 units killed by blue. Interesting trade from Pharaon there. Maybe that was just before they resigned. Exactly 10 minutes feudal age again. Nice. And yeah, hitting castle age just a couple of minutes earlier there was good, but this Pharaon here, you could certainly put up a bit more of a fight, and the fact that it was able to age up at the same time. Maybe the extra llama helped, I'm not sure. But that made a difference, I think, in it being able to defend itself early game. You can see pretty even bit of a boost from both of these. But it's blue that won that game. Well played. So, currently 2-0 to Rehoboam. That second game was a lot closer than the first. So let's see what happens in a 3v3. So this time we have another civ being introduced with Rehoboam when it plays in team games. So we'll have Mayans on the flanks this time. And it'll be Persians in the pocket. So we have Mayans, Persians. And then Pharaon is going to mirror those Mayans. And again can play any original definitive edition civ. So I rolled 7 here. Bulgarians. I believe Bulgarians is an original definitive edition civ, so that should be fine. Yeah, Burgundians is DLC, isn't it? I think Bulgarians is fine. If it's not, someone just let me know in the chat, but I think that's alright. I'm sure I'll get an error if it isn't. And then next I roll Bohemians, but that is DLC. So I'll re-roll that. 10 for Byzantines. So we got Mayans. We then got Persians on the pockets with Bulgarians. And we got Mayans and Byzantines. I think that's a good mix for Pharaon there. Just heading back to the chat here. No one's saying that Bulgarians isn't part of the original definitive edition, so I'm assuming that's all okay. I will just quickly check his script just to make sure. Yeah, Bulgarians is in there, it's fine. All good. So, all the civs are picked, that's fine. White size map, conquest. Let's go. So we'll zoom out just a little bit here. We've got a scouting pig. Not much else there. They might, if that pig doesn't make it back. Might be stuck for resources for a little bit, might be stuck for food. That might slow this Rehoboam down. Mine's starting with the extra villager at the start. Could throw this away. Nope. TheNightPanda, how could I doubt you? Of course. The pig's coming back just in time. Let's look at the back here. Persian's starting off with extra food anyway, so there shouldn't be any issues on this side. Yeah, all looking good. We're a bit early to be hunting boar for Rehoboam. We've got a load of pigs about to be found. Got another scouting pig. And this mines player's got another pig here as well. So all good for Rehoboam. Scouting pig for Pharaon. We've already got a boar hunted here. We have lumberjacks dropping off to the TC. That's interesting. But they seem to have sorted themselves out. We've got a boar hunt that's about to happen. Second boar for yellow. Oh, and these guys are... okay. A little worried then they weren't going to shoot that boar. I've seen that happen before. But they're doing okay. We got another boar hunt happening here. Yeah, brilliant. Again, they got all the basics down. Not surprising here really from both of these AIs. So, pocket play is going to be interesting here. We're not going to see the same thing from green. I would imagine it's going to fast cattle straight into knights. I don't know what Pharaon's going to do as pocket. I've played against Pharaon several times when practicing for the arena tournament, and know that it likes to boom, at least when it starts off in a ward map. But that may not be the same for Arabia when it's pocket. It might play a little differently while it's on a more open map. So we'll see what it does, but I'll be particularly interested to see how this marries up against green style of play. And it's really going to depend now with the two flanks whether we see a combination of the two of them tower rushing. I think in the last game Red's flush did seem to hold off Blue for a bit, but I think ultimately... ooh, interesting. Game is lagging. Press 119 for more information. Haven't had that before. Don't think it is lagging, Rehoboam. I'll keep an eye on this. I know that Rehoboam is somewhat sensitive to game speed, and that might impact its micro. So we'll be sure to double check that to make sure that its micro is working fine when it gets to that stage in feudal. A little bit of aggro there from Red's Eagle Warrior, or Eagle Scout. And this time, Pharaon's beaten Rehoboam to feudal age. This could be interesting. And it's a tower rush. We've got villagers going forward. This could be problematic for Rehoboam. But on the other side here, we've got them fairly even. Light blue making it to feudal just before purple. And we can see here purple's going for that flush. so won't be bringing villagers forward from that. We've got 2 archery ranges. I expect a load of skirms. Again, it could be producing skirms right now, so it's waiting for something, or it's escrowing resources for farms or something. Whereas if I switch over to player 5, Rehoboam is not waiting for such a thing. We have a bunch of towers here. This is more like 105 style. Keeping those towers close together. That archer is not going to last. None of these archers are. Those villagers are in trouble. We've got a nice defensive tower that's been set up here by blue. Countered by an offensive tower here by red. Nice attack there from the Eagle Warrior. Some of these villagers might get taken out by this tower. But that tower was bad placement there for Pharaon. It's quite hard to detect villager obstruction for that, so I don't blame them. What are you plotting, Pharaon? That's a much better place for it, but it's the archers giving them trouble. Garrison tower here as well to take out the others. Really nice defense. I think the micro's working okay, despite the message about lag. It's running and shooting it together as one. That's micro working in my book. We've got a skirmish happening here. We've got full archers versus full skirms, but we've got help from the pocket scout. Really nice addition. And there we go. Green's at castle. What's yellow doing? Yellow's gone castle as well. Very nice. I'm not quite sure what we're going to see from Bulgarians. Whether it will go for a castle maybe. It's not going for stone, so it might just go for knights. And this is what I mean by Rehoboam. Both players have all the upgrades, and yet we've got a bunch of knights, a bunch of archers that are really holding their own against a direct counter. Though I think if it wasn't for the help of green there, Pharaon would have had that skirmish. Let's look over here. We've got a ward tower. This tower's been really nice, so it's taken the third tower here out. Yellow's going knights. But again, these towers aren't really damaging the eco, and if it's a repeat of last time, blue will just build out around those towers, stop them in their tracks. Really nice subtle defense, just ignoring them. This is a great defense here by green. Yellow has an opportunity to do something. Their knights are going out. And they're going into the fray as well. They're bypassing the fight. That's really nice reinforcements from Rehoboam though. It's really good to see. What's yellow doing? Is it just going to walk them into TC fire? No, it's almost like that knight is scouting more than anything. Got a load more knights on the way. But Rehoboam seems to have this fight down. Really nice micro. No issues there at all. This would be a really nice spot for Pharaon to do some damage. Looking over at the towers, we've got long distance drops here for Rehoboam, but it is getting the job done. We saw a bit of this behaviour in the free-for-all games that starred Rehoboam. It looks like these are stopping to build towers now. They're going to just be lumberjacks. And let's have a look. Castle Age is queued. Very nice. Red is saving up for castle. Green is booming. And clashing with yellow's knights by the looks of it. These archers, really nice. Again, Cyan just kind of preserving its units there. Looking at yellow. Yellow's kind of grinding to a halt a little bit. It's producing knights, but it's losing them. And it's not boomed. Cyan's hit castle. Immediately gain the upgrades. This is going to be deadly. And there we go. Cleared up. That is kind of the scary thing about ranged units. I mean, we've got a load of knights here, but they have to kind of run and kind of tap away at the enemy health, whereas with this micro, it's just bam, and a load of them are dead. So the ranged units, I think, are much scarier for just cutting down enemy armies. I think red is staying put here. If red was able to get Bodkin, perhaps, when it gets to Castle Age, which I think it's going to go up to, yeah, then it could do a bit more disruption to eco, but it's... We might see actually the blue tower outranging soon and attacking the other towers next. Great teamwork from Rehoboam here. Blue did a great defense against red. Has been holding it off. And then they're taking purple out of the picture. And yellow hasn't really found its feet. Got a nice defensive tower, but against knights, it's a bit too late, I think. And I think what's going to happen now is we just simply have a tech advantage from Rehoboam on all parties. Knights against archers, particularly with the Persian team bonus, is nice, but these aren't just any crossbowmen, these are Rehoboam crossbowmen. And those knights are not going to be enough. Really nice with the multi-team targeting there as well from Rehoboam. Just from a scripting point of view, it's easy to target a group of enemies that are in the same team, but being able to split your shots between troops from different enemy teams is a bit more complicated. So that's a nice touch there. And we have Imp. Are we going to see the Savar? We're seeing more units coming down here. Let's check out 3. Let's see if we've got Cavalier. It's going to need a bit more resources to get to Paladin, but it has got the villagers. 114 of them. Oh wow, and other Rehoboams providing resources for the pocket here, so it can research. Oh no, not so it can research. So it can just produce 7 stables worth of cavalier. That's a really nice touch, TheNightPanda. And it's going to get Savar in no time. I'm sure that archery range will go down eventually. We got defense here. You might see these towers go down soon. Let's see if they have an issue targeting this tower. Will they go for the walls? Savar's being researched. Here we go. Rehoboam Paladins. Or Rehoboam Persians, I should say. While that's researching, we've got crossbowmen here. Cyan's gone to imp. These will be arbalests in no time. Oh, and there's so many cavaliers being produced. Soon to be Savars. Ruthless. We're just going to see an endless flood here. It doesn't mention which... Oh, monks. Nice. It doesn't mention which Rehoboam is providing resources, but I'm guessing it's blue, which is why it's not in imp yet. There we go. I was a big fan of the Persians before, and I'm really liking the Savars as an addition. I think they're a great unit. I mean, they just look cool. Be nice to see some elephants in there as well, though. Yellow's counter-attacking. We've got a defensive castle coming up for Cyan. And we are doing damage to villagers. But we've got 2 Rehoboams in imp. It's approaching trade, but I don't think it's going to target it. It's a missed opportunity, I feel. We've got chemistry here. And yeah, they are rightfully retreating. Blues come in with arbalests. Cyan's come in with arbalests even to do some real damage to yellow and punish it for its inactivity there. Nice to see some relic collection going on for yellow. I think it's a little too late. Interesting Rehoboam or TheNightPanda, you might see it seems that you might not have monks with relics in your target list, because they targeted that monk as soon as he dropped the relic off. Red is being shredded here. It's taking down a castle just with Savars, who needs siege anyway. We're going to see Red resign shortly, I think. We've got Savars pouring in here as well. Nice to see Green attacking on 2 fronts. And it looks like Blue is just providing resources for Green. I was a little bit worried for Rehoboam when I saw that lag detected message, but his micro seems to be working just fine. So I'm not sure what that message was about. Make fairer teams next time. Pharaon being very unsportsmanlike there. And we have a 3rd win for Rehoboam. Some exciting games there. I feel like Rehoboam's pocket play was just a little stronger, and having the extra resources from Blue just really just amplified that lead. Really interesting to see Rehoboam's defense against towers. I've faced 105 with Bright Spark in tournaments and kind of gone for a mad dash to tear towers down as soon as they're built. This is a much more subtle defense. Build a tower and then kind of just guide your villagers around out of tower range, and it works really nicely. You see a little bit of a dent in or a delay in Rehoboam's economy, but it's not so game changing that it turns a tide at all. Rehoboam just reroutes and carries on with the original plan. It's really good to see. Let's look at the stats. As expected here, I'd be interested to see the tributes in a minute, to see whether it was blue doing the slinging there. Yeah, not much happening from blue there, but just staying in the game and being kind of tanking it all really. Just bought the others time to do the real damage. Keeping in mind as well, we had Byzantines here that had cheaper skirmishers. I think it did produce units, but it was just a little slow to do it. And I think, again, it might be some escrow that's happening there. It might be waiting for something, but had it started producing units sooner, I think it would have had a military advantage in feudal age over Rehoboam. I think that would have been its window, because its micro is not too bad either. And yeah, we can see here, blue was sending a load of resources. Slower age up times for Rehoboam. So I think that's just because it's Mayans. So it has a different start. So if you are playing against Rehoboam and it's using Mayans as a flank, then you've got a little bit more of a window to do some damage. Red Pharaon here had an opportunity. It did build those towers sooner, it just didn't follow up with them. I think it was just a badly placed tower next to where Rehoboam was building one, and the villagers got stuck in single file. Could have potentially done more damage on a different map, perhaps. And that's an insane castle age time for an AI. That's amazing. I consider like Mangadai as peak really for castle age times for an AI, which is what you're looking at 16.5 minutes maybe. That is ridiculous. Yeah, 1641 there. That's a good castle age time for an AI. That is solid. I think most AIs wouldn't reach that. Maybe it got slung some resources for that. TheNightPanda, when you're watching this back, you'll have to let me know. Like, how did it get a 15-minute castle age time? And we're collecting relics. All good. Yeah, solid performance from Rehoboam. Let's check out 4v4. Since when Rehoboam plays more than Franks and the other Civ? Just from this last update. So when it entered into the final 16. So this was in line with the update with the latest DLC. TheNightPanda added in compatibility with Savars, and he added in a line of in the script there as well to allow it to play paladins before that update as well. He had kind of like a transition line in there, but it's all in the scripts that he added. And I don't know whether he picked Persians because he wanted it as like a showcase, or whether he thinks that Persians is just a superior Civ now to Franks for what he wants to do with it. That'd be one to ask him. But yeah, the instructions are now Persians and Mayans rather than Franks. So, fourth game here. Now, this could be an opportunity for Pharaon because we'll have potentially 4 different team bonuses combining together, whereas Rehoboam will only have the 2. I think the Inca bonus kind of helped in the 2v2. Rehoboam DC7. Ooh. Got so many AIs on this PC. So, Rehoboam, we have Mayans on each flank. And then we have Persians as pockets. That all looks good. We got a mirror Mayans for Pharaon. And let's roll the dice for the others. 38, so that's 36. Sicilians is DLC, I believe, so I'll re-roll that. 40, which is Spanish. Then rolling the dice again, 33, 36, 35, 34. It gets Persians as well. And then 31, which is Mayans. What luck. I'm just going to check the rules here to see if it rolls the same one more than once. Do we re-roll? Because I haven't seen any in that before. No, all looking good. It doesn't mention anything specific. Well, in that case, I'll stick with it as this. So, Rehoboam, Pharaon, 4v4. All the teams are selected. We're on a large map. All the settings are the same. Let's go. Just going to mute my mic for a moment while I have a drink of tea and before I lose my voice. But I'll be right back. So, interesting, I'm just seeing at the top, we have idle villagers. What's going on here is waiting for the lumber camp. So my mic was away from my face, try that again. We had idle villagers for blue for a little while there. Something wasn't right, it was but as soon as that lumber camp was built, they reassigned. Hi there, Kiwo. If you missed the first 3 games, I definitely recommend watching them back, particularly the 2v2 and the 3v3. Some awesome matchups. The 1v1 was a bit more one-sided, but 2v2 and 3v3, excellent games. And I'm just seeing how these are matching up. So for Pharaon, we have Mayans on either flank. So actually the matchup here on each side is going to be the same. Pharaon did age up quicker than Rehoboam in the previous game. So we might see either some tower rushes just in time, or we might see more units for that flush by the time that the two collide. But we also know Rehoboam was extremely fast at reaching Castle Age. Like less than 15.5 minutes. Ridiculous. If he's relying on slinging, then that could play a part in it. The lucky lure there. So Pharaon for Spanish might be quite nice. Imagine it will go for some sort of night rush. And Persian Pocket may have a different strategy to what it did before. Persians in the 1v1 didn't seem to go too well for Pharaon. Blue's about to hit feudal. Red's beating it to it. Middle ones naturally are just getting there first, or getting their eco up. So both Pharaons are just about to beat the Rehoboams to feudal age, but not by much. Nothing consequential, I don't think. Some accidental goat stealing there, but it's okay, they're back. So we've got towers. We've got really far away towers, but it's enough to attract the villagers, and if this one goes up, these villagers could be in trouble. I like the repairing of the tower at the same time here for red. Defensive tower is great from grey. Garrisoning this tower would be really nice. Have we got double towers here? We do. Okay, cancelled one of them. It's just the one. We'll have another tower here in range. We've got a garrison tower here. What's orange doing? Orange has gone for flush. Yellow Pharaon has stayed in Dark Age. Is it okay? I was just going for a fast castle. Let's see where the action's happening here. The towers are going down. It's an excellent defense. This villager's going to die. They've stolen the goat. I don't quite know what that red one was doing there. Why it was going towards TC. That's probably the best tower defense we've seen Rehoboam do in these games. That was excellent. Pharaon doing some nice work there, just following up, attacking the villagers. Yellow just about to click up to castle. How are the middle Rehoboams doing? They're already on their way to castle. One of them is. Okay. No, both are. Again, that's going to be like a 15-minute castle age time for both Rehoboams. That build is so slick. I wonder if the other two have done any singing for that. Clearly not, because they've not even built a market yet. It's just pure build from TheNightPanda. That's excellent work. Blue is ignoring its goats. And yet it's still being able to push out an army of archers. Archers versus skirms. This should be a one-way battle, but as we know, Rehoboam's micro does great work, and even with a direct counter, Rehoboam will do significant damage. We've got knights coming out from green already. I imagine we do from cyan. Yep, there we are. We've got a clash happening here. The knights are coming to reinforce. The archers are there. Pharaons are a bit slower to castle age. We have got knights coming from the Persian Pharaon. But is it too little too late? Rehoboam has detected walls. I guess there's a walled tower, maybe defensively happening for red. Yep, there we go. I love this teamwork here. This is excellent. Same on the other side as well. Just the way that the pocket knights just go in there and support the flank. It's a nice kind of inner wall happening here from Pharaon. Not quite sealed, but that could be a development path for it. But I think red is done. We've got attacks coming onto yellow, onto orange even. It is starting to build a wall. Let's check out what units it has. It is building spears, but it's just not enough against those knights, and they are going to get shot down. Yellow is booming, which is nice to see. Nice to see purple stealing those unused goats. Blues had this issue a lot. A lot of idle villagers. We've got 3, 2. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Rehoboam here. It's like its distance somewhere is too short. They are manually being allocated farms. Maybe they don't have enough farms. And if not that, some of them are still idle. That's one to keep an eye on Rehoboam. Let's double check. Only seems to be blue that's doing that. So it must be something to do with that particular setup. Seems to have switched to a more generic form of attack. Don't know whether that's because of the towers. Or maybe they were ungrouped. These are definitely using micro. We've got green poking around the outer edge here of orange's base. Grey about to hit castle. How's orange doing? Staying in feudal. don't know if that's necessarily the right move, but I don't know what the right move is when you're being attacked by 2 Rehoboams. Probably is stay in feudal and just keep producing units until you get help. What have you missed, Randy? You've missed 2 really fast castle age times again from Rehoboam, around the 15.5-minute mark. Maybe less than that. We've seen a failed tower rush from the red Pharaon. Grey just defended it really, really well. And took the towers down as they were being built. We've seen a load of idle villagers from blue. They've sorted themselves out now, but there was a load of villagers gathering around the TC. But otherwise we're seeing Rehoboam really just deal damage to the 2 flanks. They're moving into the pockets now, and I think this is where we're going to see the game come to a close. Those flanks are really going to struggle to get out of feudal. We're going to see Rehoboam get to Imperial Age soon, no doubt. They're not quite there yet. Yellow's going to assist with knights, but again, against Death Ball and crossbows, it's not enough. Micro's working fine for Rehoboam here. Knight's not quite sure what to do with the garrison TC, but they found villagers to attack. I find sometimes when AIs have tower avoidance or TC avoidance, if they get caught in between 2 TCs, it can work out quite well for the defender as they get stuck walking in TC shooting range. But Rehoboam seems quite happy, just picking off villagers as they leave. We've got yellow coming here and quite a number of knights. I think its avoidance is a bit too aggressive at the moment. It doesn't seem to be doing that much damage to the eco. Now we're leaning in. Do those knights have upgrades? They have the armor upgrades, which is good. They're going to take down that defensive tower, but against TC fire. Light blue is just straight in the eco here, being supported by grey. Grey not coming back to defend, which is interesting. It's going all in. And there we have it, Imperial. And if we switch over to green, Cavalier's already clicked. I wonder if we'll see more slinging in a minute. We had 7 stables on the go, I think, last game for the pocket. We got kind of a bit of a hesitation there under the DEC. That is a lot of villagers going down. Now the question I've got for people in the chat here, I mean, yesterday we saw Immortal against the tutorial ones. We saw Esty and Master potentially with a shot and then throwing it away. Do we think Rehoboam can take it? Rehoboam's been consistent. It's defended against tower rush as well, but do we think it could take any, if not all, of the Immortal games? Immortal not lost a game at all so far. What do we think? You don't think Rehoboam can do it? You think Immortal's solid, Kiro? Which previously, I think in the last Davis Cup, Rehoboam lost 4-0 in the final. Though I would argue that we are, with with Definitive Edition, we are on Rehoboam's home turf. Rehoboam was adapted for UP and DC6, whereas Immortals had to be adapted for DE for this version. But yeah, Immortal doesn't make mistakes, as we've seen. I think we're gonna. It's two face each other. I think Rehoboam can take games from Immortal. I don't know whether it will in the 1v1s and 2v2s, but its pocket play is sensational. Like the Castle Age up times, the flood of Cavaliers at Imperial Age. Haven't seen that from Immortal. It's a bit more. It goes a bit more for aggressive. It goes more for feudal, but kind of a conservative, kind of in between build. I'll be really interested to see the two fight each other on Definitive Edition. Andy thinks Rehoboam could win the 1v1. I think some of it's going to come down to Civ, right? Like, the 1v1, they're both going to end up being Persians. Oh, actually they won't, because Immortal can't play Persians. So they'll actually be different civs if they face each other. So many Svars. So yeah, so I think it might come down to Civ for maximal being. The Drush from Immortal can be really deadly, as we've seen, and I don't know if Rehoboam has an answer for that. But if it ends up being Archer Wars, or Archers versus Scouts, then yeah, I think it could go Rehoboam's way. I think we're going to see a resign soon. We've got Battering Rams coming in. Here we go. First resign. And even if we go to 4 here, which is the strongest Pharaon, we've got Cavaliers coming from him. But they're not Savars. And they're not Paladins. We're close to Paladin. It's swishing out to Spearman. Probably not what you want. Well, it is close one to clicking that Paladin upgrade. But with 5 units. I think this is done. Trade has been hit. We should see a resignation from Orange soon. Rehoboam. Trebs. I remember mentioning this several rounds ago and going, why does Rehoboam never make Trebs? He has heard. We have clicked the upgrade there, but all too late. Rehoboam with Trebs. Oh, that's exciting. Maybe there's hope for you to beat Immortal after all. Tear down those castles. That's great to see. Great to see some more improvements happening with it. A solid win. I did think the towers would give Rehoboam more issues, but that subtle tower defense, it just seems really intelligent. If it is able to take out the towers in one go, it will do. And if it sees that those towers have been reinforced, it moves to a more subtle defense and builds a base further out in a different direction. It's excellent. Yeah, really nice touch. Excellent work, NightPanda. H2 Evil, absolutely. That is GG, easily. Let's look at the score. this seemed fairly one-sided. It was Rehoboam just really well defended against that initial tower rush on the left side. There was a bit of a stalemate on the right, but the pockets are just so strong. It's just immediately up into castle, producing knights and reinforcing the sides. It then becomes a 4v2 very quickly. Got a lot of tribute happening as well. Look at that. Both of them 15 minutes and 10 seconds, so that is by design. Look at that, no variance at all. "20 seconds ahead there into feudal, but that tower defense was too strong." And yeah, you can tell by this as well. They were relatively conservative at the start, but it slowly fades down into Rehoboam's victory. Interesting to see the state of Grey here, but I think that's more just because the others grew so much. Grey did get raided, but I don't think it was any danger of losing. It just had too much support from the pockets. Yeah, great work. If you missed the initial games there, I'm going into that. Definitely the 2v2 and the 3v3 are worth watching. They were excellent. So that is a 4-0 win to Rehoboam. I'm just going to head back over to the scoreboard. And that does mean that at least one of the semi-finals in the winners bracket is going to be Immortal versus Rehoboam. That's exciting. And then we're still waiting on the result of Maya versus General, which I think MrElephant's going to run. So far, the General is beating Maya 3-2, but it could go either way, and the winner of that will go against Shadow. And I think Shadow could give either of these, Immortal or Rehoboam, a hard time. I know it's given Rehoboam a hard time in the past. Oh, and there's Fireball. Absolutely. Yeah, but I think the way to beat Immortal, I think, is it's got to be superior early aggression. It's got to take it out sooner, and I think Shadow has that, and Rehoboam has it as well. I think they're the best shots at taking it down, and I think Esty and MrElephant showed that. But I think at this point, because we're kind of at the semi-final or the quarterfinal stage where we just need to wait for that Maya and General game to kind of come to a close. I don't really want to take that away from MrElephant. So I think that's where I'm going to end it today. It's a relatively short one there, another 4-0. But yeah, MrElephant will run that one. And then I'll be away for Christmas over the next week. So at least from my side, my next streams will be in the new year. I don't know MrElephant's plans exactly, whether he'll do any over the next week, and we'll message that on the Discord. But thanks for tuning in, and take care.